In this video, I'm going to show you how I removed the Remjet layer from the same Kodak film that Cinestill uses before I shot it. Then I'll shoot both Cinestill 800T and my Bootleg 800T side by side in this pair of Canon FTBs with the same Canon FD 50mm 1.4. I've been meaning to make this video for a while, and given the recent press about Cinestill pursuing hostile legal tactics against small businesses in the film space, I thought the timing was appropriate. The point of this video is to compare these two films in the best informally formal way that I could think of to show you what you can do at home and some of the results. It is no secret that Cinestill 800T is Kodak 500T without the Remjet layer. Removing the Remjet is pretty easy, and all you need is an alkaline solution which weakens the adhesive used to adhere the carbon layer to the film. When I first started bulk rolling my own Vision 3 cinema film, I just used a cup of hot water and some baking soda, but this recipe on screen works better and is easier to reuse over and over. After letting it sit for a minute without agitation, I pour it back and then rinse with hot tap water until the water coming out is no longer black with the carbon layer. Then I hung the wet unexposed film in the dark to dry in my closet before respooling it into a cassette. Okay, so now I'll show you some of the results from the comparison. I developed both rolls at the same time in the same tank using C41 chemicals. Then I camera scanned them and inverted with Negative Lab Pro using all of the same settings. The Cinestill 800T pictures will always be on the left side of the screen, and my Bootleg 800T will be on the right side. The Remjet is a carbon layer on the back of the emulsion that it protects movie film when it moves quickly through big cinema cameras. Normally, I shoot mine with the Remjet layer on and remove it right before developing it because that is much simpler, but I decided to try and take it off first, let it dry, and then roll it back into a cassette before exposing it to see the results and how similar they would be to 800T. As you can see, there's some differences in some images, but I feel like I was pretty successful overall, and the results are really comparable. Cinestill sells their 800T for $16.50. But you can buy a 400-foot roll of Kodak Vision 3 500T for $350, which yields about 75 rolls when you cut it down to regular 35mm cassettes for less than $5 a roll. Ultimately, I am not qualified to discuss the merits or demerits of Cinestill's alleged actions, but 800T is hardly a unique name for something and is itself purely a description. My biggest frustration, though, is the lack of adequate response from Cinestill to this. They seem happy to try and let this blow over, and to me that is really disappointing. The film community is small and fragile, and copycats that make more film available to more people is only a good thing, in my opinion. I think my results show that this is a pretty faithful reproduction of Cinestill's 800T film, with the signature halation effect as a consequence of the Remjet being removed, but I would love to hear what you think in the comments below. Anyway, that's all I've got for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more soon because I've got a few different videos that I'm working on which I think are pretty neat.